Welcome everybody to Strangest Species Season 2, Episode 36. I'm your host Mike Davis here with Ethney Davis, way across the way on the other side of the table.
So far.
So far
away.
Can I reach out? Can I touch you?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
No problem.
Barely.
Was that barely?
Let's see. Oh no, you're right. That's pretty easy.
I mean, I don't think I can reach you.
Well, you got shorter arms.
I know. So, well, hello.
Hello.
I feel like I got distracted by you.
Sorry.
Your pre-record button distraction and your reaching and touching me.
Lots of distractions tonight, I guess.
Yes.
So, anyways, it's a good start.
Is it?
Yeah. Well, how's everyone doing tonight? So, lots going on since last time we spoke. Yep.
Lots.
I was supposed to have surgery, but I didn't.
They canceled.
The day before. Who does that?
A terrible surgeon who doesn't care.
Apparently not.
Anyway,
So I'm still broken.
Yes, put a sort of kink, not a kink, just like a weight, into all the things. But that's okay. The kids all still got to, the boys all had sleepover scheduled for your first night of just recovering, and they still all got to do their sleepovers, which is something that they don't really get to do. So for them, that was just absolute perfection. Which also enabled our daughter to have a birthday party sleepover without any boys around. And I
was around.
Well, little annoying
But
boys.
none of the little boys.
I think it was her little dream come true. Yeah. We actually got to see them for way more of the night than we thought we would.
That's
Because
true.
they wanted to be around because there was no one bugging them.
And teenage girls are not much better than little boys.
Oh, they were so much better. They were adorable and cute and did a fashion show and made shirts. It was great. It was awesome. So
Somehow they got whipped cream on the roof.
well, that part wasn't so great. Yeah, I mean, yes, it's true. I was like, seriously? You've got to be kidding me. Pana's like, I didn't start it. It's just, if only we had raised ceilings, maybe we wouldn't have gotten it on the roof.
It's true. Our house is a little old with shorter ceilings.
Yeah, it's outdated in that way, but it is definitely not an easy feat to raise your ceilings. So
I have no interest in doing that.
it's not happening. Yeah. Got to pick and choose our battles.
Yeah. So that was fun. We did go, it was our spring break last week. So the kids are off. You're very ready for them to be back on.
Oh, so ready. Cannot wait for school tomorrow. Yep. Love them dearly. It's a lot.
But here in central Washington, there's a small little town called Leavenworth that is Bavarian.
It's very cute. All the font is, every store, every picket fence has the cut.
Little whoop-de-doos.
Yeah, shapes in them. And I mean, it's just so cute.
Yeah. So our kids really like German food. So we thought, well, we'll go over there and do that for a night. And it was really fun. After last episode talking about Action Park and their alpine slide that
Of people
caused
flying.
death.
Yes, death. People
So
flying.
Leavenworth
off.
has an alpine slide.
And we totally did it.
So we did it, and we made the kids do it. All the kids really wanted to do it, except for our youngest. But he did it. He wasn't very thrilled about it.
Wasn't very happy about it, but he did it. And so it was good. We talked a lot about Action Park and watched the documentary or whatever you would call that.
Mm-hmm.
And still, even despite Action Park and the Alpine Slide, we still did it. So
This one was run by grown-ups.
yeah.
And it was very well built.
And there were, it was great. It was awesome. The day couldn't have been more beautiful and the view was magnificent. And it's just a cute, quaint town up in the middle of the Cascade Mountains. And it's just adorable.
And the kids had a good time.
Yeah, we had
window shopping.
lots of fun. Well, the river walk and, it was great.
It was good.
Yeah, we had a good time.
So that's what we've been up to. in the last little bit, which has been fun. Now kind of, starting tomorrow, life's back into
full swing.
All 4 kids are in sports and
Oh my goodness, yes. It's a almost a 1 hour at a time kind of life here starting up. Not even 1 day at a time. There's a lot.
But that's all good.
Yeah, it's all good. We'll just make it through.
It is what it is.
The kids were all telling me today, 44 days until school's over. 44 days. They cannot even wait.
Days or school days?
I think it's school days. So that's not including like weekends and stuff. I'm pretty sure. But maybe it's 44 including weekend. I don't know. I was just listening to them.
44 is what? Only a month and a half? So April.
So it must be school days.
No. That would put us in
but
the
they're
end
not
of June.
Oh, okay. Maybe that's 44 days. I have no idea, but I just know there's the countdown. The teenagers, the young kids, everybody, they're talking about it. So
I bet you it's actually just 44 days.
Yeah, I mean, I believe you.
So I don't know that, but
they're either way. People are getting itchy for spring or summer break. So anyway,
you are not. As far as having the kids around.
Oh, I like summer break. I love it.
Do you like spring break?
I like spring break.
Did you like this spring break?
I did. I'm just always ready for them to go back. Summer's super different though. We're so busy and we have places to be all the time. It's super fun. I love the change in routine but I'm very ready for school to go back when it's back to school time.
Right.
So, but I had fun. I think the dynamic this time, because our oldest was gone the whole time, I only had 3, and that dynamic is always hard. It's just always hard. So it was different. But anyway, it is what it is.
Yeah, those kids. They like to get after each other, man.
Crazy usually if I have 4, I can kind of tag team 2 together, and it works pretty well. There's always, it works out pretty good, but only having the 3 youngest was a little bit harder.
True that, Ethney. Well,
yeah.
So, if you are newer to listening, or whether you're not, the way this works, Ethney never knows what we're going to talk about.
Oh, but I do today.
And so she's always in the dark with all of you. So she's along for the ride as well. That's what makes it so fun. But I always have to ask her when we start, what do you think we're going to talk about today?
We are going to talk about all the things that can be magnet fished out of water.
Did you guess that last time?
I don't know. Did I?
Feel like.
I really want to talk about that. Yes, I don't know. I know the kids have been talking all about it and watching restoration videos of things that have been pulled out by the magnet fishing. And since we have a magnet fishing kit, I think I'm excited to see if we find anything.
Yeah. I'm excited for that. I really get a kick out of those YouTube videos of them cleaning rugs.
Oh, yeah. It's very satisfying, to see the change. But the restoration videos are amazing. But I'm just more curious what they're even going to find, if anything, right, in the water. So,
yeah, I've definitely found them or seen them find some crazy stuff.
Yeah,
safes and guns and bikes.
Lincoln really wants to go back and see if he can find my watch. So I'm like, well, probably not this year.
Yeah, that's a tough journey.
That is a tough journey. But anyway, maybe I did say that once before. I have no idea.
I feel like you have.
Okay, well then I have a different guess then. We're going to talk about, let's see, a civilization that is still untouchable. Like they are not touched by the world.
Like when we talked about those guys on the island off of India.
Is that still current?
Mm-hmm.
They're still that way?
Mm-hmm.
Dang it.
I can't think what that island's called off the top of my head.
Okay, now I don't know what to say. Urban exploration. We're going to talk about urban explorations.
That's a good guess.
Okay, no.
A favorite topic of mine.
You do love to watch those things. What about...
It's okay. You don't have to guess until you
weird
get it right.
genetic food modifications
That's a fascinating one.
that humans have done to food.
That is fascinating.
I know.
But no.
Oh, okay. Am I even remotely close?
No.
One of these days, I really want to be right.
So, but, I mean, the script's sitting right here in front of you, so you could cheat.
Well, I never look at them.
I know you don't. That's good.
Because that's the whole point. If I look at it, that would just defeat the purpose.
Defeat the purpose.
Yeah.
So, our son who loves listening really wanted a creepy story.
Oh, I should have known. He has been asking for. I knew. Are you doing a creepy story?
I don't know if this is a creepy story or not. I guess you'll tell me when it's all said and done.
Okay.
But he wanted something. He really likes the episode that we did on The Watcher. The people who got the letters
in the house. Ugh.
So he wanted me to try to find another story kind of like that. So this one is not. It's not in the same vein, but it's. Well, we'll see. You tell me when we're done, if it was creepy or not.
All right, I'm ready.
We're gonna start today in Detroit, Michigan.
Oh, at least we're not Detroit.
Well, that's exactly what we're going to talk about. So the sister city of our previous hometown of Cleveland, Ohio. So 2 of our boys were born in Cleveland. And Cleveland is not known for much. We love it.
I mean, we love some things about it.
This is true. We love some things about it. But it has an unofficial slogan. And what's that unofficial slogan, Ethney?
At least we're not Detroit.
That's right.
Literally, that is Cleveland's slogan. And there's a whole YouTube. You should look it up. It's amazing. Ridiculous. Terrible. I don't even know. But actually, I've been to Detroit alone with my daughter as a baby, driving right through it.
Lived.
And the underground tunnel thing.
To Windsor.
Yeah. And under the water?
I don't know. I wasn't there.
Under the
sea.
No, there's like a... You can, I don't know. Anyway, I mean, it was a little sketch, but we survived.
Yeah. I mean, Cleveland's crazy sketchy.
Also driven South Chicago all by myself with a baby, which I just think I'm ignorant and just had no clue.
Southside Chicago probably scare me more than Detroit.
Yeah,
but I don't know.
I think my ignorance.
East Cleveland is also up there.
Terrifying.
They're all good areas.
Good. Good is the right word.
Yeah.
So anyway, the slogan is, at least we're not Detroit.
At least we're not Detroit. Cleveland's, according to this video, their main export is crippling depression. But at least they're not Detroit.
It's true.
And the river catches on fire. But at least they're not Detroit.
It's true.
So, no, we love Cleveland. And have many good friends there. Or at least a couple good friends
and
there.
it's beautiful.
No, I actually do miss a lot of things about Cleveland. But the crippling depression in East Cleveland weren't some of them.
This is true.
But we don't have to worry about that today because we're going to Detroit. And we're going to talk about a gal named Ada Quintal. Now, Ada was 47 and really was just kind of an average lady. Not much nothing really remarkable about her life going on. Just your typical Detroitian. I don't know if that's what people from Detroit are called.
It sounds right.
Detroitlander. Detroitian. Detroitite.
Okay. Well, either way, you're going to catch them all, but they know that we're trying our best.
Yeah. Can't think of any other ones. But anyways, she's from Detroit. And she had recently lost her job. And I think that's a pretty common thing in Detroit.
Probably so. Yeah.
So one day in the summer of 2019, she's out walking in the city somewhere. It's daytime. It's the middle of the day. And there's people everywhere, She's not in any kind of weird, creepy area. When all of a sudden, she is attacked by a stranger.
Oh.
And is full on jumped.
Yikes.
Broken nose, concussion.
Oof.
Yeah, pretty severe. Doesn't know why.
Like they didn't take anything at least?
Maybe they, stole her purse or whatever, but no explanation on her end as far as like, why me? Why?
Okay. Weird.
I'm just one of many walking around here. They never caught the guy. And so this she's unemployed. She has this happen and she's just in a rough spot.
Yeah.
mentally, just kind of like
Emotionally, all of it. Yeah. It's
a little afraid to go outside.
What if that person's still out there and they had a reason?
Right.
Right?
Exactly.
Yeah, totally.
And so she's just, in a bad spot. So a few months later, as fall's coming in and winter's just around the corner. And if you are familiar with the Midwest, winter is...
Yeah, well, especially on the lakes and stuff.
It's no joke.
Yeah, the lake effect snow is a whole new world.
It's gross. And so she's still without a job. She's still paranoid. And her uncle calls her. Now, her uncle has a proposition for her.
Okay.
They have a familial cabin that's been in the family for 75 years or so, 100 years, something like that. And he says, hey, I know, Ada, you've been struggling. You had a rough year. Why don't you go out and stay at the cabin? You can get it winterized, or I don't even have to winterize it. But you can work, touch it up some, do some things out there, have a place to stay, just get away from the city. And she actually, she loved that idea. She loved the cabin. She'd been there since she was a little girl. She had lots of fond memories there. And it was pretty remote. There weren't any other cabins within, a mile or so of it. So even though it was kind of remote, she actually felt more safe there because there weren't people who could randomly attack her like the city. She was just out on her own and she felt very comfortable there. So she really liked that idea. So she went out there with her boyfriend and they were staying for a few weeks, but then eventually he had to come back into town and go back to work. So she's out there by herself, which again didn't bother her at all. She had her dog and she just was enjoying time. And so she's been there for a few days. And there's one particular night, no different than any other, but she's just having a hard time falling asleep. And she's still very anxious and still kind of paranoid about things. Still kind of mentally just in a little bit of a rough spot. So she takes a sleeping pill. But she's just having a hard time falling asleep. And her mind's just racing. And you know how that goes. Like when you're laying down and your mind's racing, there's just not much you can do to shut it off, right?
Yep, when it happens.
Yeah. So she does the same thing that I would probably do in that situation. And she gets up and she grabs her dog and she decides, hey, let's go outside and let's just go for a quick walk. Let's get some fresh air. And then maybe that'll kind of reset me and I'll come back. And
I don't think I would do that.
No, what would you do?
I would probably get up and start cleaning or get up and maybe start journaling. Would not go outside in the middle of nowhere with my dog. I just wouldn't.
Well, it's not in the middle of nowhere. I mean,
you're all alone. Okay, but if you're in a place like that, there's going to be way more wildlife. Way more, right? Automatically. So, no thank you to anything. The wolf, coyote, any of those nocturnal creatures.
Gorillas.
I think you're in the wrong place, but I could be wrong. No way. I would never. Even if I had my dog who, I trusted to maybe scout out something. I mean, even a raccoon and their beady little eyes in the dark would freak me out. What
about if they were Canadians with beady little eyes?
Well, that's just a South Park song, so it's not really real. But anything, any rustling, I don't know. I think deer sleep at night, but anything that would be awake at night, I would lose it. Literally lose it. So I would not leave my cabin.
Okay, well,
I would maybe look out the window.
I think it sounds like a good idea.
Okay, well, cool.
Just to get some fresh air. You don't have to go far.
I don't think bears are nocturnal, are they?
I don't know. I mean, they definitely are awake in the daytime.
Yeah.
But I don't know if they're also awake at night. Maybe they
I was just thinking
sleep.
about all the things that come out at night that are different than the daytime usually. Anyway, okay, so I would never be doing this, but okay.
Well, she decides she's going to do that.
Good for her.
So her and her dog go outside. So she's going to have a smoke, walk the dog, let the dog take a leak.
I'm like so anxious over here.
You're already anxious?
Oh my gosh. Yes. Something is going to happen.
But she's smart. So she has a 9mm. So she takes her 9mm with her, which I would do as well. just for
Yeah. Make you
funsies.
feel better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So she's walking the dog. The dog's doing its thing, sniffing around, blah, blah, blah. She's not far from the cabin, but probably far enough that she can't like see it. Like it's not right there, she's around the corner or whatever. Well, all of a sudden the dog stops and gets super like alerted.
Yeah, like the point.
Yep. The boing, and
Does
staring
the
at
hair-
something into, yeah.
Does the hair go
Yeah.
up? Oh.
Scruff stands up.
This is like my worst
staring into
nightmare.
the darkness. And obviously she can't see anything in the darkness.
Oh my gosh, this is my worst nightmare right here.
But she sees the dog do that, and then he starts growling, right?
Oh no.
And so she pulls out her flashlight. She's super slowly, like not trying to startle anything.
No, pull out your gun.
Well, that would be smart too. But I think everyone has that natural instinct of what, you gotta see first what's going on.
I'm like sweating.
So she raises her flashlight.
Please. I don't want to know. I'm ready.
And what do you think she sees?
I don't know. Just tell me.
She sees a pair of glowing eyes.
Oh,
Staring back at
beady
her.
eyes.
Beady eyes.
Because at nighttime, their eyes reflect really weird.
Yeah.
But you
Freaking
still,
Canadians, man.
you wouldn't even still know what it is. Because of the darkness, you would just know that there are eyes. You wouldn't know if it's a wolf or a coyote or a bear if they're not asleep. Or what else is up there? Like, I don't know.
Well, with her flashlight, she can't tell what it is.
Oh, she
because it's
can't?
not very far away at all.
Oh.
And I don't think you mentioned what it is. It's a mountain lion,
Oh.
which are by far the most terrifying of all.
That would be the
things.
worst. Literally, it's a cat.
Yeah.
Cats.
I believe mountain lions can pounce like 40 to 60 feet.
Well, we say all the time, even though our cats are lovey-dovey, if they were bigger, I mean, they could kill you. So then I just think of a mountain lion as our little pet kitty, and terrifying. I mean, what do you do what is the right thing to do? Because you know how they teach you bear safety? Like, oh,
Yeah,
hey,
man.
like just lay
Mountain
down and
lions
play.
can pounce up to 40 feet horizontally or 18 feet vertically. I think if we can jump 20 feet in the air straight up.
Do you think it was like hunting her, or do you think it startled? They startled it
So
because they can stalk and you would
Right.
never know it.
So yeah, generally speaking, if a mountain lion wants you dead, you're never going to know it's there. It's going to pounce, rip
And-
out your jugular before you ever even knew it was.
So the fact
around.
that it was looking at her
most
is
of the
kind of
time, yeah,
weird.
if you see them, then they're not hunting you. They're just, you've happened to come across it. It usually doesn't have any interest in eating you.
At the same time, it's
but
going to
still the most
protect.
terrifying thing of all time.
Well, it's still going to want to protect itself, right? And if the dog feels like a threat,
Well, that's true.
oh my
So-
goodness, what do you do? There's no right answer, I don't think,
Yeah.
with mountain lions.
So I've seen some terrifying like YouTube clips where like mountain bikers like turn a corner and all of a sudden there's just a mountain lion sitting right there, or a mountain lion's on a trail with
Like a
a
cub.
hiker or something, And
jeez.
so oftentimes people just yell like you would a bear
Yeah, try
to
to
try to
them
scare it away.
Ugh.
Um,
There's nothing good you can do, probably.
so she reaches down and grabs her gun. And just trying not to be like too quick
Yeah.
to startle it, but at the same time, she's like slowly bringing the gun up.
Yeah.
You'd have to, a 9mm would do damage, but you'd have to hit, that'd be like a headshot or it's gonna still
Pounds.
attack,
And those claws, like, goodness gracious. Okay.
But as she's doing that, it darts off.
Oh. It leaves.
It leaves.
Oh.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
Nope.
Wow.
So it takes off into the bushes, and she does what anyone would do, like just lets out a, oh my goodness, like,
And then you turn around, you
and
go
then
back
you
to your
turn around
cabin,
and you
and
go
you go,
back
and
to
you
your
don't go
cabin.
back out again. Yeah.
So she turns around and goes back to the cabin and takes her dog, and her heart's pounding, a million miles.
But she makes it.
She makes it to the cabin.
Oh, this isn't even the scary part.
No, this isn't the scary part.
I mean, is it over?
That's it. Short
Gosh.
episode today.
I was so nervous that she was gonna be mauled and claw herself. I don't even know. Okay.
So
Deep breath.
She walks back, and her cabin is all lit up. The interior lights are all turned on, which I think is a fair play that most people would do if you're out in the cabin by yourself,
Yeah.
just to make yourself feel comfortable.
Yeah.
And so she sees the lights, very welcoming.
Yeah.
She goes inside, shuts and locks the door, and it's just, whew, okay. That was terrifying.
Yes.
Heart's racing. But I made it back, and
the dog was
that
fine.
was-
and, yeah.
Crisis averted. So she locks the doors, and she's just kind of in there,
Deep breathing
for a few minutes. When all of a sudden she hears something outside, like twigs snapping, and she's still kind of heightened, like she's still kind of on that adrenaline buzz. She thinks, like, well, did the mountain lion follow me home? Is it still out there? Is there somebody out there? Like,
oh my goodness.
Am I just freaking out now because I'm already worked up?
Oh yeah.
So the cabin itself was just one big room. So you would walk in, there was like couches and a TV, and then over in the far corner was
like the
a
bed,
kitchen, and there was an upstairs.
Okay, like a loft.
Yep. Well, not even like a loft. It was a full upstairs. Like that's where I think all the sleeping was. But there were no interior walls. It was all of the living space was just one
very
big
common
open space. Yeah.
cute family cabin.
Yeah.
Yep.
And so so you can see across the whole thing, but the lights are all on, so she can't see outside.
Right.
Which I hate.
Oh yeah. Feeling like someone can look in and you can't see out.
Yeah.
Oh, 100%. In this situation, I would turn them all off. Once I'm inside,
yeah,
I would turn them all off.
And so she hears this sound, and so she walks over to the window, and to see outside, what do you have to do?
Turn off the light.
Well, you have to turn off the lights, but if you don't turn off the lights,
go right up to the
window. You
have
to press your face up against the window, right? To see outside.
Oh, no.
Which I hate that idea.
Yeah.
Like, I would never do that.
Never.
Like, I instantly, if the dog barks and it's night and I'm inside, I turn all the lights off.
Yeah.
So I can see outside.
Sure.
And nobody can see inside.
Right. Sure. I mean, they can still probably see inside somewhat, but
not nearly as well, obviously.
Oh, for sure.
So she walks over and she presses her face against the glass.
Oh, my stomach is like in knots. I can't handle this. Okay, yeah. I'm dying.
She doesn't see anyone.
Okay.
She doesn't see anything.
Was it turn off the lights?
So again, that feels a lot better, right?
I mean,
so she's like, okay, it must just be me. I'm tired. I'm worked up.
I'm freaking myself out.
I'm freaking myself out. So she goes and she sits down on the couch and turns on the TV.
Why doesn't she turn off the lights at this point?
I don't know. Maybe there's something comforting about having the lights on.
A soft glow, maybe.
So she sits down on the couch, turns on the TV, and just is like, okay, just got to let my body relax so I can fall asleep and be done with this stupid night. So after about a half an hour, again, she thinks she notices movement outside of that same window. And whatever she saw definitely was not a mountain lion, because it was
tall.
Right. You're laying on the couch and you're looking up. Like, if you're seeing something move, like a mountain lion's going to be on the ground, right?
Is it a human?
Well, she doesn't know. But she was certain, that must have been a person. Like, it's the only thing that's tall enough that could move across the window like that.
That's more scary.
That's much more scary. So, what would you do? You're lying on your couch.
Well, it's 2019. I'm sure she has a cell phone.
Mm-hmm.
In that exact moment, I would call someone or call the police or call 5 people. I would text people. I would do all the things. Like my boyfriend, because she has a boyfriend, right? Mm-hmm. And my closest family member, my uncle, who told me to go up here and then call the police. You know what I mean? Like in that order.
Calling all of them.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that somebody knows something and that something weird has happened. Like, hey, I went out. My text would be like, hey, I went out. I ran into this mountain lion and now I feel like I hear stuff outside, but it seems like it's not a mountain lion. I think there's somebody, because I think it's human, outside. I'm freaking out. I don't know, call me?
Yeah. That's a good plan. So her plan wasn't much different. The first thing she did was she grabbed her gun.
Okay.
And she jumped behind the couch.
Okay.
And then she grabbed her cell phone. And she called her boyfriend. But it's like 1, 2, 3 in the morning at this point.
Sure.
So he doesn't answer. So then she calls a friend.
Yep.
And the friend did answer. And she tells the friend, like, I'm here by myself. I think that, well, actually, before she calls her friend, she's going to call 911.
Yeah.
But then as she's sitting there listening, she realizes, like, am I really hearing things outside?
It doesn't matter.
And then she's like, maybe I'm just super paranoid
It
ever
doesn't
since
matter.
this whole I got attacked thing.
It doesn't matter.
So she decides not to call 911, but she decides to call her friend.
Mm-mm.
So she calls her friend answers.
Bad idea.
So she's on the phone with her friend. And she tells her everything that's happened. Hey, I went outside. I couldn't sleep. I went outside, saw a mountain lion, freaked me out, came home. I was all worked up. I thought I heard something, didn't see anything, sat down. I swear I just saw a person, though. I'm hiding behind the couch with a gun, but maybe I'm overreacting. I'm going to look. I just want to be on the phone with you when, I just need to be on the phone with you.
Okay. I don't know if I want you to keep going. I can't handle it.
Oh, what's going to happen, Ethney?
I don't know.
Okay. So her friend says, well, I'm going to call 911.
Okay.
And she says, don't call 911. Like, just give me a minute to figure out what's going on. And then you can call 911.
Bad
if you need to
idea.
call 911. So Ada sneaks over to the window by the front porch and she looks outside. She peeks her head up over and there's no one there. So, okay. Feel good. So then she turns back the other direction. Remember, you can see straight across. And staring at her from across the room are two guys.
Inside her house?
Outside the window. This brings back like the Strangers vibes for you, huh?
Okay, I honestly, can I handle this? No, I'm dead serious. I don't want you to keep going. Okay, keep going.
So she raises her gun.
Oh my gosh.
And lo and behold, they're both armed and they raise guns. And so she just starts firing.
Are you kidding me?
No.
Through the glass?
Yep.
Is that smart?
Well, I mean, I don't know why it wouldn't be smart.
I don't know what is smart.
Someone's pointing a gun at you in your remote cabin.
I mean...
So she just starts firing.
Oh my gosh.
Now she's pretty sure that she hit one of them in the head neck area.
Wow. This girl's legit.
Yep. She drops to the ground.
She does?
Yep. Like just fires and then falls to the ground. You know?
Okay.
And her friend's on the phone and she's screaming at her. Like,
call 911.
What in the world? Like the friend's yelling, like, what's happening? Blah, and she's screaming back, like, there's two guys, they have guns. I just shooting at them. They're firing at me. Like, I don't know what's happening. And so her friend says, I'm going to go call 911. So she hangs up to call the police. Now, Ada's in there and she's still hiding behind this couch. Adrenaline's pumping. But as she's sitting there, she realizes,
where's her dog?
Dog's there. Dog's barking. Dog's, doing what dogs do when you have gun battles in your living room.
Yeah.
They get a little worked up. Probably. I mean, I've never seen Maple deal with a gun battle in the living room, but as she's sitting there, she realizes everything's really quiet. Like, everything's just eerily quiet. So then she thinks, is it possible that I hit both of them? Or maybe I hit none of them. Or maybe I hit one and the other one's waiting for me to make a run for it. And it's a trap. I mean, there's no good option here, right? Like there's just no guarantee. So as she's sitting here thinking, deciding what to do, she hears movement up on the second floor above her, like footsteps. So now she's thinking, well, whoever I did it must have climbed up and come into through a window or something on the upper floor.
Or they were inside the whole time.
Well, they couldn't have been inside because you could see them.
I don't know. Not upstairs.
Unless there's more of them, I guess.
That's what I mean.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that could be. She's not thinking that, but she's thinking, okay, well, if one's upstairs and I hit one, maybe I can make a run for it. But again, what if they're not really? Or what if I didn't hit one and one's upstairs and one's outside? Or
yeah, this whole thing is absolutely terrible.
So she's about to make a run for it.
Oh, my goodness.
When she has this moment of clarity of, you know what? I'm sick of being scared. Like, this is my family's cabin. I'm not going to run. I'm going to defend it.
Dang.
And so you keep knocking over your microphone.
I'm so nervous.
That's twice.
I can't handle it. I don't like it.
So rather than running, she grabs her gun.
Oh my gosh.
And she starts heading up the stairs.
This lady is legit.
She's legit. Now, about an hour later, the cops show up.
An hour?
Yeah. They get to the scene.
Oh my gosh.
They search the cabin. They search the surrounding area, but they can't find Ada or the shooters.
Okay.
They did find her dog. She was fine. Dog was good. But there's no sign of... They can definitely tell there's been a gunfight, but they don't know...
Well, if they hit somebody, there would be blood, wouldn't there be?
Correct.
Like if she would have hit
Right.
somebody.
And there wasn't any. So the cops start doing, they do their initial check. They don't find anybody. So now they start doing a more intensive search.
Mm-hmm.
This is where it starts getting weird. So on the roof of the cabin, they find Ada's shoes and her cell phone.
On the roof?
On the roof.
Like the outer side.
Outside, up on the roof. So at some point, she went on the roof, decided it was wise to take her shoes off, and left her cell phone and her shoes there, and climbed down on the ground below where her shoes and cell phone was her gun.
Okay.
So she had, it appeared, gone off the roof from outside, like not going back through the house, and had dropped her gun there. But still no sign of her.
Okay.
So the police start searching the forest. Can't find anything. Because her friend has said, like, she thinks maybe she hit one of them. They search local hospitals for anybody who has shown up with gunshot wounds or anything. Nothing. Nobody. So they're very perplexed here about what in the world could be going on. You got any ideas?
I don't want to think about it.
Okay, fair enough. So then the cops, after a few days, big search party, can't find her. They start changing their thoughts. Maybe there never were any shooters. Maybe it was her boyfriend that attacked her.
But like two guys? Maybe she only thought she saw two?
Maybe.
I don't know.
Now, Ada had an adult son, like in his 20s, and he was actually with her boyfriend all night. So he had a very rock solid alibi, that he's like, no, like it wasn't him because he was with me all night long. So they thought, well, maybe he hired someone to kill her for some reason, but they could never find any kind of like weird financial transactions or even any motive for him to want to kill her. So that kind of went out the window. They're kind of at a loss. But then they came up with this idea, well, maybe it was the man that attacked her in Detroit. Like maybe he actually did know her.
And
maybe,
follow her?
Yeah, maybe he did have some. But that too kind of died real quick. Like nothing panned out from that.
Right.
So as the initial investigation stalled, the details from the crime lab start to paint even a weirder picture. So now they're getting back, reports about the casings and the evidence that they collected. And so every bullet that was pulled out of the walls, the trees, everything like that, were all from Ada's gun. There were shell casings on the property. Like, so when the police got there were shells outside and things from different guns, but there were no bullets anywhere.
Okay.
The only bullets were from Ada's 9mm. And they all were from the same gun, and they could tell which gun they were from because they had the gun. So then people are starting to wonder, like, maybe it's all just a big setup. Maybe she wanted to disappear and run away, and she was faking it or something like that. But either way, a few months go by. Case is super cold. No one still knows what happened to Ada or the shooters or what's happened or why her cell phone was on the roof and her shoes and blah, blah, blah. But her family's going insane, not knowing what happened to her. So they're doing a lot of things on their own, trying to figure it out. And the police have pretty much stopped searching at this point, but they continue to do their own searching, right? So one thing that they did was they decided that they were going to drain a nearby pond that was by the family cabin. And at this point, it's December. It's cold. But they drain this pond. And sure enough, once they drain it, they find Ada's deceased body lying. She was in about a foot of water. And only about 300 yards from the cabin.
Weird.
So now it all makes sense. Like, she'd been chased by the gunman, shot, and fell into the pond there, or they killed her and threw her in the pond or whatever.
But had she been shot?
Well, so the police come and they take the body and they do an autopsy, and lo and behold, they couldn't find any gunshot wounds.
Okay.
Anywhere on her. Not only could they not find any gunshot wounds, there were no actual, any kind of real trauma. No lacerations, no cuts, no. And so it was even more bizarre.
Yeah, that's
and so police
weird.
are, what in the world is going on? And so no one really knows until they run the autopsy. And then things start making more sense. Because, so to understand that, we need to go back to the summer in Detroit. When she got attacked.
Okay.
So ever since then, she'd been way more anxious than she'd ever really let on her family.
Okay.
And she'd had a hard time coping with the anxiety. And so she had kind of turned to various drugs to help. Medicines and stuff. So that sleeping pill that she had taken that night was actually a Valium. So Valium's a very potent sedative.
Yeah.
We use it to sedate patients, to get them loopy before procedures.
Is it a retroamnesiac too?
I don't think officially it's a retroamnesiac, but there's some of the properties because you're kind of loopy about it. So she had taken this Valium to go to sleep, couldn't sleep, was still feeling anxious. That's when she decided to go out and go for the walk.
Oh yeah, we all know what it's like when you take sleeping pills and then try to stay up. Well,
Do we all know what it's like?
Well, you have witnessed it firsthand.
Yeah.
How about that?
Yeah.
I'll just say that.
This is true.
So, it's definitely not a good combo.
I've been in third world countries with friends partying on Valium.
But then trying
for recreational reasons. And watching them.
It's not a good combo.
It's an interesting combo. But not me.
Okay.
So she had the Valium. When she goes out, remember I said she went outside to take a smoke? Or to walk the dog and she smoked? So they find out actually when that smoke was not a cigarette, but it was methamphetamine.
Oh.
Now meth is a major stimulant. And it oftentimes makes people feel strong and confident and they can take on the world. That's why meth is the drug of choice for soccer moms.
Yeah.
Because they can clean their house and jog and do all the million things they need to do.
Yeah.
because it gives them a crazy.
Just thinking about
Rush.
our future spring schedule with all these, I'm like, maybe it's a good idea.
You need some meth?
We should start it.
Around here is the place to buy it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm joking, everybody that listens. I'm joking, but it sounds great, right?
It does. Well, let's keep talking about meth. So it also has some pretty nasty side effects, one of which can be severe paranoia. So when Ada went outside to walk the dog and she came across the mountain lion, the theory that the investigators came up with is the adrenaline spike and being induced or on meth
Right. And
pushed her into like a crazy panic.
Yeah.
That probably wasn't as real as it should have been, right?
Right.
Like she was just over the top.
But do you
paranoid
think
now.
it really was a mountain lion, or was she
yeah, no, I think it really was a mountain
Okay.
lion. But I think that triggered just this
so much fear?
fear,
Yeah.
anxiety, paranoia.
Right. With all these drugs, like a Valium, a downer and an upper in your body at the same time is going to real mess you up.
Yeah. So when she gets back home and she hears all these noises, now you've been in the woods at night.
Oh,
It's very, very loud.
yeah.
I mean, that's not unusual.
So you don't think she really saw two guys staring at her?
Well, pretty much she's tripping right at this point, and she's
Yeah.
super anxious. She looks out the window. That first time she doesn't see anybody. She turns around.
Maybe is it her reflection?
She sees her own reflection
Oh my gosh.
in the window.
Oh my
She pulls her gun,
gosh.
and what do?
Pull their gun.
They pull their guns.
Oh my gosh. Why would she see two? Maybe.
Well, it's probably just the angle of,
Oh my
you know,
goodness.
especially with light bouncing off light, you know, like the window off window. Maybe she saw 7. Maybe she saw 1. It doesn't matter. In her brain, she sees multiple gunmen. Well, she sees 2.
So what is the stuff upstairs?
Well, so now she's firing.
Yeah.
She's in this crazy.
Weird.
But, I mean, so our house was built in 1979. It's not very old. It creaks all the time. Like
Yeah.
there's people walking around.
She just.
I mean, it's probably just. You know,
So
the
how do
wind
we
blows.
have a description of this?
Well, we have the description from her friend
Yeah, was she
as
on?
far as what
but then
has
once-
happened that night.
Once her friend hung up.
Right. There's probably some poetic license there
Okay,
as far as
gotcha.
the reality we don't know.
Because she never called the police herself, right? So none of this.
Correct. I mean, we only know she went upstairs because she ended up on the roof.
Right, at some point.
And at some point, she takes off her shoes and leaves her cell phone, hops down, leaves her phone before running and falling into the pond.
And then just can't get herself back up?
Well, so the actual autopsy, the actual cause of death is not drowning.
No?
No, she actually dies from an overdose. A toxic mixture of the,
But did she take another?
I don't know, the Valium and the meth
Right.
in conjunction with hypothermia. So I think what happened is she was tripping, she runs.
How'd she get off the roof?
I mean, and I don't know. And here's the real sadness of the whole story, right? Is I feel terrible. I mean, can you even imagine what she was experiencing in those last moments?
Oh,
that she believes is real.
Yeah.
I mean, at this point, is it still 2 guys? At this point, is it a demon of the forest that's chasing her? You know, like, is it
Yeah.
like, why in the world are you?
Yeah. Oh, that's a sad. Like, yeah.
But either way, yeah, she jumps down, she climbs down, she's running.
I wonder if she almost hurt herself a little bit. Like, I wonder if the autopsy showed she hurt herself in coming off the roof and was kind of limping. So then she was more like exposed. But
Yeah, possibly.
I wonder what ultimately, like, how
Or I just wonder if she's so amped up,
that are.
she's dead sprinting. You know, she hits this water, she falls just because if you're not expecting to hit a foot of water, you know,
Mhm.
and maybe her body at that point, like just that super cold, and
Oh, just the
just
shock.
shocks her, and she just kind of.
Is, right. So it's not actually drowning.
But yeah,
Interesting.
it is interesting because, or she wasn't in the water.
Yeah.
You know, maybe she dies and then it rains over the next 3 months, and that's why there's a foot of water. Because she's not drowning, right? Like,
yeah, I wonder.
my guess is she dies of hypothermia, but she's not moving or anything because of the
What's funny
drugs.
to me is if they did a search, don't you think they would have? I mean, she's only like a foot of water. Don't you think you would have seen something?
Yeah. And the cops actually did look at that pond, but not like diving it or anything, right?
Right. It's probably pretty murky, but still.
And I don't know what yeah, you're right. Who knows what that pond looks like.
Right. Man, I was freaking out. I mean, it's still tragic. Don't get me wrong. But I was just like, oh, that I cannot handle. Like, ugh. Anyway.
Yeah. It makes me feel really sad for her.
I'm sad for her. Yes.
I mean, I honestly wonder, like, in her, high
Why is she
state,
smoking meth, though? Like, why is she taking such heavy... Like, you know what I'm saying? What did she accidentally take her meth cigarette instead of, like, her normal cigarette? Or you think she knew that she was smoking meth and already had taken a Valium, and she just didn't realize the terrible combo?
Yeah, I mean, I assume she knew.
Yeah.
That it was meth, and she's probably doing it on purpose to make her... But maybe she didn't realize,
but if
like,
it's an,
I've already taken this other
upper
pill.
And she's trying to calm herself down, I just feel like, I don't know. If it gives you energy, right? Like if it's a stimulant.
But maybe just being out there at night. I mean, okay, all fairness, not trying to pick on her. She probably doesn't know what drugs do what.
Okay.
They all make you feel happy and good.
So it doesn't really
you're
matter.
not thinking about the physiology of
what it's actually doing to your body and
like,
how it can kill you.
It's
I got
9
you.
o'clock. I need to take something to help me go to sleep. I'm feeling anxious. Okay, when I smoke meth, I feel more confident.
Well, I know, but like, couldn't you just like take a melatonin? I mean, like, why do you need to be doing a Valium?
Well, I don't know.
That's what I mean. Like, I'm like,
but I think that's a fairly naive question for people like you and me because we don't take anything. I think these kind of drugs
are
used all the time by people.
Okay. Well, probably so. I just feel like it's such a tragic accident, that could have so easily been prevented, and just
especially if she was hiding the drug use from her family because she was maybe embarrassed about being so nervous or anxious
or worried, and
Moral of the story: drugs are bad. Don't do drugs.
Drugs are so bad.
So bad.
What movie?
Super 8.
Super 8.
Open up about the struggles you're having rather than turning to substance abuse. Let people in.
Yeah, that's true. I think sometimes it takes I don't know what the right word is. Courage. Honestly, a lot of courage to admit that,
Oh, for sure.
It's easier to probably just be like, oh, this is a rough patch. I'll just, and kind of hide the anxiety or the worry or whatever. That's too bad and just sad for her.
But at least there were no crazy killers in the woods.
Oh, yeah. And also like the no motive people. I just can't
the no motive people.
Not handle it. Cannot. I mean, I don't like it anytime.
But you definitely prefer people get murdered for a good reason.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, like be a gang member or mafia member or something. Have some motive.
Much better than answering the door.
Yeah, for sure. Mm-hmm. That's kind of where I thought we were going here, and I was like...
The movie The Strangers has tormented Ethney.
For literally like 2 decades.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can't even think about it. Mm-mm.
That movie messed her up.
Yeah, it did. It really did.
Not my choice.
I don't even remember whose choice it was.
It was Sonia's.
Yeah.
Maybe Linnea's.
I don't know. We need to give a shout out, though.
Oh, yeah?
To Hannah, right?
Oh, that's right.
So
we don't even know if Hannah listens, but...
Well, Hannah listens vicariously for Shirley through her little brother.
Gotcha.
So that part I do know. But this is a shout out to Hannah. If you do actually listen, and we don't actually know if you do or not, but...
Well, if you're still listening at the end of the episode, then you deserve a shout out.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yep. You for surely do. And Zach, you can relay the message if she doesn't actually listen.
That's right.
So anyway, well, thanks for terrifying me.
You're welcome.
I did not like that at all.
We'll go with magnet fishing, urban exploration, civilizations next time.
Okay.
Just
I mean, or I'm okay with eerie. That's fine. This one was just getting too.
She says.
Yeah, but then I know you know me. And I was like, you can't possibly. I was sitting here thinking, is he seriously going to do an episode like this? So I'm going to start crying on air.
I think the worst episode we've ever done, as far as you being uncomfortable, was the one where those dudes were like 1,000 feet underground in a cave and started flooding.
I hated that one too. Yuck. Yeah.
But everyone made it out.
Yeah. No, I know. Yes, I just have to have faith that I know you're not going to like have me more traumatized for another 2 decades.
Yeah. But sometimes people die.
Well, yeah. Yeah, but there's like, I don't know how to explain it. Anyway. Yes. Not okay. Some ways I'm like, not okay, but like, it's acceptable.
Acceptable.
Anyway.
Alrighty. Well, everybody, that will be a wrap on today.
Have a good week.
Yeah. A couple weeks.
Yeah. It's Easter coming up, and we have visitors coming, and it's always fun and always busy, and it'll be good times. So you guys have a good Easter Holy Week.
Dearly do.
Yeah.
We'll Easter in a couple weeks already.
All right.
Alrighty, everyone. Goodbye.
Goodbye.